Those who stand on tiptoe do not stand firm. Those who rush ahead do not go far. Those who try to outshine others dim their own light. Laozi. We can improve when we stop trying to improve. Many people exhaust themselves attempting to make their lives better, yet the results are often questionable. They accumulate knowledge and chase external things, seeking to perfect their bodies and minds, only to become burdened and dissatisfied. The Daoists observe that human efforts to improve often go against the natural flow of life. Attempts to control, change, or impose order on the world usually backfire. All these pursuits, rules, ethics, values, are undoubtedly created for the benefit of humanity. But according to ancient Daoist sages, we must let go of it all. Why do rules distance us from the Tao? Because all these human ideas separate us from the natural flow of life. Trying to change what nature has already designed is like swimming against the current, exhausting and ineffective. The universe contains a mysterious, undefinable force that Daoists call the Tao, for lack of a better word. The Tao encompasses everything and exists beyond what our senses can perceive. We can sense and feel the Tao, though we cannot fully grasp or explain it. This symbolizes the tragic human tendency to try and understand what is beyond comprehension. We use labels, categories, judgments, but cannot truly capture the essence. In doing so, we create illusions, artificial systems that make life understandable to us. But in seeking understanding, we lose connection to the Tao. The 5 colors blind the eyes. The 5 notes deafen the ears. By reducing life to fixed concepts, we limit ourselves, for beyond those concepts lies far more. The same applies to our tendency to create strict rules for everything in pursuit of control. Yet the world is constantly changing, and what works today may not work tomorrow. Despite this, humans build vast systems of ethics, moral codes, and rituals, forming an artificial way of life. Though intentions are good, people end up building prisons for themselves. Now let's talk about the word trying. Most of us are familiar with the idea of flow, where a person becomes one with the action. The dancer becomes the dance, the poet the poem. This is Wu Wei, the art of non-action. Literally, it can be translated as non-doing or doing nothing. In the context of flow, a better translation is effortless action. We move in harmony, with ease and grace. In this context, doing nothing does not mean laziness or lack of progress. According to Daoist thought, since the universe is always in motion, there is always progress, even without our forced effort. So instead of forcing life to fit modern cultural expectations, we can move more easily by using intelligence and awareness. Isn't it often the case that problems resolve themselves, while our actions only make things worse? Why do we keep trying so hard? Daoists saw it as unnatural, chasing after ideal versions of our bodies and minds. Why do we do this? Much of it stems from the value we assign to certain things. We avoid poverty, yet crave money and fame. We fear loneliness, yet yearn to belong. We want one thing without its opposite. We believe we must reshape nature to fit our beliefs and systems. We try to improve the world, but the results of our interference are often questionable. So how can we apply these ancient teachings in modern life? From a Daoist perspective, modern efforts are often misguided. We pour energy into improvement, but gain very little. The key lies in letting go and allowing life to unfold, without forcing, without resistance. First example, attempts to improve the world. Alan Watts, a passionate student of Daoism, once noted that the greatest disturbers of peace are those who try to save everyone. Their mindset, I must save the world, often disrupts the natural flow of things because they seek to impose human ideas of good and evil. A historical example is communism, which initially arose from the desire to improve humanity through equality and fair distribution of resources. But regardless of whether the idea was natural or not, the methods used to spread communist ideology were incredibly brutal. In the Zhuangzi, there's a story about a man named Yan Hui, who asked Confucius for permission to travel to the country of Wei. Yan Hui had learned that Wei was ruled by an incompetent leader, and he wanted to use all his knowledge about governance to help improve the state. But Confucius discouraged him, not only because the ruler of Wei was unlikely to listen, but because people in general do not appreciate outsiders showing up to tell them what's best, especially from a position of moral superiority. As Confucius said, if you do not understand people's minds, and yet present yourself before a tyrant to preach mercy and righteousness, laws and standards, you are simply using others' flaws to highlight your own supposed superiority. Using others' mistakes to place oneself on a moral pedestal rarely improves anything. It only creates more division and tension, and is unlikely to lead to sustainable positive change. As Laozi wrote in the Tao Te Ching, if you want to rule the world and control it, I don't think you can succeed. The world is sacred. You cannot improve it. If you try, you will only ruin it. If you hold on to it, you will lose it. Second example, the pursuit of happiness. Whether we chase money, status, fame, power, or knowledge, these constant efforts to become happy are often the very reason we are not. We think we'll be happy when we have $1 million, when we publish our book, or when our YouTube channel hits 100,000 subscribers. But that's rarely true. Yes, we may feel a momentary pleasure, but according to Daoists, this isn't true happiness. In fact, the chase itself leads to deeper dissatisfaction. Here is a quote from the Daoist perspective. What does the world value? Wealth, fame, long life, a good name. What does it consider happiness? A life of ease, tasty food, fine clothing, beautiful sights, pleasant sounds. What does it despise? Poverty, disgrace, early death, bad reputation. What does it consider bitter? A life without rest, a mouth without tasty food, a body without beautiful clothing, eyes without delightful views, ears without sweet sounds. Those who cannot obtain these things become anxious and afraid. That is foolishness. We wear ourselves out chasing wealth, even when we already have more than we can use. This is a shallow way to treat the body. So if the pursuit of happiness is a dead end, what can we do? Third example, trying to be someone else. Another story from Daoist tradition speaks of animals and the wind, all of which envy each other for their natural qualities. The centipede envies the snake for being able to move without legs. The snake envies the wind for being able to travel long distances without a body. But the wind replies, even a finger or a foot can stop me. In the end, nature created everything with its own unique qualities. Nothing is better than anything else, only human judgments make it so. Yet, people constantly try to change themselves to match some artificial ideal. Pale-skinned people want to be tanned. East Asians want to look European. Brunettes want to be blondes, and blondes brunettes. We change ourselves to fit into man-made standards, believing we are not enough if we don't conform. People even cut off a sixth toe to match the standard of 5. Why not just be what nature intended? That would be much simpler. Everything and everyone has its place. When we try to change that, we disturb the balance of the world. As Laozi wrote, when people see things as beautiful, ugliness is born. When people see things as good, evil arises. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. How can we apply Daoist ideas in modern life? Daoists suggest a few approaches. First, follow the middle way. This means not going beyond your natural limits, but staying centered, maintaining health and closeness to your true nature. Quote, follow the middle, hold to the constant, and you will preserve yourself and stay alive. Every day, let go of something new. According to Laozi, rather than restricting ourselves with rigid belief systems, we should release and stay open-minded, allowing the universe to reveal itself as it is. Trying to change nature is useless, like trying to grasp fog. We let go until we reach inner stillness. Only then do we open ourselves to the Tao, or, from a spiritual perspective, to what might be called God. In this state of emptiness, we experience contentment. And contentment is true happiness. Taoists call this process fasting of the heart and non-action of the heart. Letting go each day. This is the art of not trying, in which nothing is left undone. Thank you for watching.